sure to click and take it away.
All right. Thank you very much for the introduction. And thank you everybody for coming out today to learn a little bit more about SeaWorld, the opportunities that we have available currently. We're excited to share some of the fun things that we have coming up on the horizon, and opportunities where you can get involved in the excitement, the energy, and the festivities that we have on the calendar for the next several months. As the host mentioned, you feel free to ask any questions throughout in the chat function, but we're going to keep it light as well. So if you just want to take your mute off and talk, feel free to do so. I will be using a PowerPoint presentation for a chunk of this, so I won't be able to see the chat at certain times. So yeah,
I will monitor the chat for you.
Awesome. So as far as agenda, we wanted to spend just a moment going over kind of SeaWorld and what we stand for. Then we're going to talk a little bit about special events, and Kay is going to help me out on that and the fun things that we have going on this year. And then we're going to talk about some general interest and areas of opportunity. And then most importantly, how do you express the interest in joining and being a part of our team. So I'll go ahead and get my screen share running for the PowerPoint presentation. Give me just a moment. All right. No. Okay. Sorry, the meeting controls would not get out of the way. They're blocking my button. All right. So again, we already kind of covered the first slide here. Welcome to the info session. Again, excited that you came out to learn a little bit more. Wanted to share opportunities and answer any questions that you have today. And if there's anything along the way, feel free to stop me, and then we'll open it up at the end to try and identify what's going to be the best fit for you, where you might fit into our ocean of opportunities, and understand why life is better when you're at sea. So we are, of course, speaking today about SeaWorld in San Diego. Our park there in California is a theme park and marine zoological park all in one. The experience, the force and power of high-speed roller coasters. You can have the opportunity to get up close and personal with sea creatures of all shapes and sizes. We have live shows and entertainment as part of the experience, as well as special events throughout the year, food, drinks, fun, concerts, you name it. We try to make sure that we have something to appeal to all guests, all demographics, all ages. So one-stop shop for the entire family, all your friends, have a good time together. Don't have a slide on it, but within California, we do also manage the Aquatica water park. So there are opportunities, of course, to get involved in that park in addition to SeaWorld, and we can talk on that today if there are any questions on that line. But wanted to just take it a step back to the greater parent company. I'm not sure if anyone would be familiar or not, but we are part of the larger family of SeaWorld Entertainment. And that is going to include, of course, SeaWorld parks and Aquatica parks, but we also have Busch Gardens locations, other water parks to include Adventure Island, Water Country USA, Discovery Cove, an amazing experience here in Orlando, and up in Pennsylvania, the very first ever Sesame Place theme park based upon the show Sesame Street. In total, we do have 12 parks spread out across 5 cities in the United States. So what that says as a potential new hire coming in is that there's a lot of opportunity for growth, and there's a lot of different directions that growth can take you. So even if you are on one side of the fence where you know what your path is and you're pursuing a specific area of the business, more than likely at the size we are, we probably have a function in our business that is going to be within that skill set. But if you're also trying to figure things out, it's a good place to do that, as you can work in a lot of different capacities and see what's going to be the best fit for you, getting in there hands-on and experiencing it for yourselves. As SeaWorld Entertainment as a whole, we are one of the world's foremost zoological organizations and a global leader in animal welfare, training, husbandry, and veterinary care services. In over 4 decades, our animal experts have helped more than 23,000 ill, injured, or orphaned and abandoned animals. And our goal is always with a rehabilitation and returning these animals back into the wild. Our mission at SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment is, as you can see on your screen now, from Park to Planet, we are committed to helping animals across the globe. For more than 50 years, animal rescue and rehabilitation have been the heart of SeaWorld. And from habitat protection and supporting ocean health initiatives to our many rescue and rehabilitation efforts, SeaWorld is a part of conservation projects across the globe. It's our mission, and we want to inspire others to take action and join us in the effort to save animals and wild places. The reason we bring this up in an interaction like today is regardless of the opportunity that you take at SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, you do play a part in this mission as you're interacting with guests every day, in many cases, interacting around topics related to the wildlife and conservation efforts. So you have that opportunity to change the way that somebody thinks or the way that they approach the impact that they're having on the planet. That said, we wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about what's fun on the horizon. So you see the scary clown staring at you right now. Hopefully you've heard already, but big year. San Diego SeaWorld will be hosting a Howl-O-Scream event this year. That's going to be kicking off here very soon as we lead into the fall season. So we are in process right now preparing for that event. And of course, to run an event full of characters and haunted houses, it takes some people that are looking to provide some scares as well. So the process we're in right now is going through selection of those individuals through audition processes and identifying where they're going to be the best fit within the operation. And of course, beyond the performance, support roles as well, as somebody has to do that makeup, prepare the costumes, make sure the stages are set, the technical pieces are in place. So there's a lot of different pieces to that puzzle, and we're going to touch on those today as well. The main role that we look at is this character position. That's going to be the one that we have the most need in, as they're the ones out there creating those fears. Just a little bit background of what you'd be responsible for in that role. You, of course, going to be put into a character. You're going to be put in either masks or makeup, and all provided by SeaWorld. And you're out there with an objective of working within a set and following direction of your stage managers to provide scares to the guests as they're coming through, whether that be a scare zone, a house, or another experience within the parks. I'm going to show you just 2 quick videos, and then I'm going to turn it over to my partner to talk more in depth into the event, as she is one of our casting managers and knows this inside, outside, backwards, and can answer all your questions. But you know, actually, you want to go first, or do you want me to show the videos first?
I say go ahead and show the videos, because I'll give them a little background on myself and my journey with the company, and explain how Howl-O-Scream is really my baby.
Perfect. So these will be real quick. The first one is like 30 seconds. This is an advertisement that we're running for character positions, so you get an idea how to express interest in those opportunities. And then we'll show you a real quick behind the scenes of what it's like to be a character as well.
My name is John. I'm actually a scare actor here at SeaWorld San Antonio. I've been scaring here at SeaWorld for about 9 seasons. I hit my 10th season next year, and I'm super excited about that. As you just witnessed, I went through the very kind of first stages of becoming Milton, which is my character here for our newest haunt at Milton Creek Manor. That is one of the best mazes SeaWorld has actually ever created. You dive right into an old-timey hotel-looking event, and no detail was spared when they were creating that experience for everybody. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go head out and get on my costume. Come along with us here to wardrobe so we can get ready to check in and see if we might check out. My favorite thing about being a scare actor actually is just seeing the excitement and see everyone get scared and get spooked and see all the craziness and the fun things that we have here at SeaWorld.
All right, ready, and...
So what we were doing here right now, it's really important for us to work on our vocals and get mentally prepared. So we do take the time right before we go out to make sure that we're warming up our bodies and getting ready to give everyone that safe, fun, startle scare out there.
Okay. So hopefully that gave you a little idea what it's like to be a scare actor and what they go through in a day and preparation and getting out on set. But I am going to turn it over to Kay, as she knows a lot more about it than I do. So go ahead and take the show away.
I say, hi everyone, I'm Kay. I am the Entertainment Operations Manager here at SeaWorld San Diego, and I actually started my journey with the company at Busch Gardens Williamsburg in Virginia. I started with them as a seasonal stage manager actually for Howl-O-Scream. So Howl-O-Scream really does hold a very special place in my world because I personally hate being scared, but I love installing the scary. So getting to work with scare actors with chainsaws, and they made it a personal mission of theirs to scare me as many times as humanly possible a night and try to see who had the highest tally at the end of the night. I think one person got me like 14 times in one night, and they were just like, yep, I win. Everything's great. So when I came out to San Diego about 3 years ago, it was one of those things where I was leaving Howl-O-Scream because SeaWorld San Diego only had the family-friendly, spectacular celebration for Halloween. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll leave my baby behind. I'll walk away. I won't be a production assistant anymore. I won't, but I'll move on to the family-friendly. When they told me that we're finally going to open up with Howl-O-Scream here in San Diego, my heart exploded with joy because it meant I got to go back to what I love and installing and training people to be scare actors. As Melton mentioned in that video, it's one of those things that your startle scare, your atmospheric scare, there's so many different elements to Howl-O-Scream people don't think about, and actually getting to train new ambassadors and new scare actors is just incredibly fun because everyone's like, oh, I can't believe I'm getting paid to scare people all night. Literally, I get to scream at people and scare people all night. And training people how to do that safely and be able to make it through 3 nights in a row or 2 nights in a row of being in a maze or being in a scare area or even being in one of our roaming hordes. They're all different and incredibly eye-opening experiences because you don't realize what scare actors do sometimes. They're like, oh, you just yell boo at people. Now, boo's the one word I tell my scare actors they're not allowed to say. Because as funny as it is, it's not there. You got to scream. I want to hear it. And I'm going to teach you how to scream for 4 or 5 hours a night, 3 nights in a row, and not harm yourself so that you still can talk on Monday morning when you have to go to your regular job or to your other part-time job. Because I know everyone here in San Diego, we wear mini hats. So it's definitely a lot of fun. So if anyone has questions about the scare positions, I'm more than happy to answer them. We have maze positions, territories, roaming hordes. We have a chainsaw horde. So people who are going to get to go around and just pretty much chase people through the park with chainsaws, as well as some different positions. If you have a makeup specialty, I'm hiring makeup artists right now as well. I'm hiring stage managers. I'm hiring costume support staff to actually get through, because if you think about it, we'll have about 300 scare actors. That's a lot of laundry that we have to do every Monday morning. So we definitely are hiring a good number of support staff to help get through the event in addition to the scare actors. So if anyone has questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Feel free to unmute and go ahead and ask us anything. And Jess and I will do our best to answer anything you may have.
Excuse me.
Hello?
I've been late because I just opened the page. So I was working in the warehouse for 20 years. So I don't know if I had to make application again, or what can I do to come back? I am in unemployment.
So what you can do, the application, you can either go to the SeaWorld auditions.com website and follow the link there, or you can go to the SeaWorld employment website and look for the Howl-O-Scream performer, and you'll just submit your application there. You'll come to one of our auditions and we'll move on the process from that point.
Okay, can you repeat me the page, please? SeaWorld?
It is SeaWorld auditions.com.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions?
I have a question. If I was a previous employee, like I worked at the SeaWorld store
Okay.
and I actually put in an application there, but nobody like reached back out to me. So if I was interested in becoming an actor for SeaWorld, like, do you hire people that used to be hired?
Yes,
Or
we do
how does that work
rehire, we do rehire previous ambassadors, and it doesn't, as long as you were in good standing with the company when you left, we can always
Yeah.
hire you back in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to apply, just go on SeaWorld, what is it, SeaWorld, and look for this position, ma'am?
So yes, so you'll look for the scare actor performer position at SeaWorld San Diego.
Oh.
And if you open up the SeaWorld job site as a whole, you can filter it down to SeaWorld San Diego and then entertainment. And then our open entertainment positions will populate there. And you'll just click on the position that you want to apply for and submit your application that way.
Okay.
And the career site is officially in the chat field now.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Sorry, I was having like some technical difficulties with my laptop. Sorry about that.
Sorry, could you go ahead and repeat that?
I think I was having some difficulties with my laptop,
Okay.
like connecting. So sorry about that.
All good. So we can only do what technology will let us sometimes.
We're getting good at rolling with those punches too.
Yes.
Hello, hi, I have a question.
Yes.
So are you guys just hiring for that, or do you guys have other events that you're hiring for?
So currently we're focusing on Holler Scream, but we will be posting for Christmas here in a couple weeks for pathway performers and things of that nature. Right now I think we still have a posting up for costume character work, in addition to some technical support for show operators as well.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So I have a question. So they're going to have to do auditions. So auditions have to be done first. You apply and then you're called for an audition.
So
And
when
then when would you start if you
So-
were selected from the audition?
So when you apply, you actually select your audition date. All of our audition dates have been determined and time slots selected. So we do have auditions every Thursday and Saturday until about a week and a half, 2 weeks after the event open. The auditions on Saturday are from 12 to 5, and the auditions from Sunday are from the auditions on Thursday are from 5 to 8 p.m. So we do have 2 different audition slots there. So you'll select those when you submit your application, and then you'll just show up on that date. We are looking at I'm pulling up my calendar right now to give more dates. If selected for the position, you'd be starting somewhere between September 3rd and September 8th at the latest, because we will have rehearsals from the 10th through the 17th, and then we open on the 17th.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
And Kate, I have a quick question.
I hopefully have an answer.
I hope so. What's the hourly rate of pay of that position?
So for the scare actor specifically, it is $15 an hour.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Will they be required to do, or will there be requirements on COVID testing or vaccination?
We are currently following all CDC guidelines. There is no requirement to be vaccinated. However, if you're not vaccinated, you are still required to wear a mask, just like the CDC has lined out in their most recent update. And we are actually returning to indoor masks. Currently, I'm in my office with the door closed, which is why I get to have my mask off. But we are returning to masks and indoor workspaces for the safety of everyone, even for those who are fully vaccinated.
Okay. And Kate, do you do a background check?
They do a background check through the hiring service. Yes.
Okay.
How about GEDs or high school diplomas? Is that a requirement?
That is not a requirement, no.
Great questions.
Yes, on the background check, what do you specifically check? I mean, I was an ex-employee for SeaWorld as well. But I was just wondering, I mean, they checked my background, everything was A-okay, but I just want to know what exactly do they check?
I'm gonna pass this one to
take that
Jessica.
one.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna pass it to Justin because it's a typical, I don't work in HR, it's a typical background check. They look for any major red flags,
Yeah.
potential felony convictions that could cause a discrepancy in the workplace or a conflict of interest with the company. But I personally have yet to have someone denied for a background check. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I personally haven't had a scare actor denied for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really is a very vague response that anybody could give. There's a separate guideline for literally everything that could be in the background. So they're pulling everything. It's just what guideline is attached to it.
Oh, I see. It was just very interesting because they always, every company you go to, oh, background check. But I was just wondering, what do they check? What is it that they're actually looking at? So I was just a little curious. But thank you, though.
No problem.
Welcome.
I say, and I don't know if is it Jonesy?
Johnsy.
Johnsy, sorry about that. I just saw your chat pop up. So in what respect are you asking about the guidelines for the CDC? We currently, anytime the CDC changes masks mandates or social gathering mandates, we adjust our guidelines and our park regulations for not only our employees, but our guests as well. So we didn't reopen to outside visitors out of state visitors who were not vaccinated until June 15th, because that is what the state of California had mandated, as well as the CDC recommending to keep gatherings within a state or area, a localized area.
Oh, so everyone right now, ma'am, is required to wear a mask indoors. They just changed that guideline.
Even if you're vaccinated, everyone is required to wear a mask indoors. If you're outdoors, you're not required to wear a mask if you're fully vaccinated. However, if you're not fully vaccinated, you are required to wear a mask for your entire shift.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Okay, I have a question regarding the shifts. Do you have, what are the normal shifts for that specific project that you're working on?
So with Hollow Scream, the shifts are going to vary slightly. So if you're in a scare area, so one of our non-maze locations, those shifts could start as early as 4 p.m. because we will be getting ambassadors into makeup, and that takes a little bit of time if you only have a team of 8 or 9 makeup artists. So we'll have staggered in times to get everyone into makeup, and then they'll get into costume and then work. The event is going to run between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. are going to be the end times of it. So we'll open at 7 and the event will either run to 11 p.m. or 1 a.m. if it's on a Saturday. Ambassadors would be scheduled until on 11 o'clock nights, probably 11:30, 11:45. But then again, if it's just like a ride here, if you're in line for a ride at port close, it's not like we're not going to kick you out. You are going to get to experience that. So sometimes the mazes will be scheduled a little bit later than that window. If you're in a scare area, that shift you will leave the street, if you will, or the pathways at port close, and you would be out about 45 minutes after that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Got it.
Does anyone else have any more questions that I could try and answer?
I was wondering, can you pull up the application that I put in? Or I was just wondering.
Not while I'm on the Zoom call, unfortunately. I say because my computer gets a little wonky if I try to open too many tabs at one time.
You can get it later, Johnsy. We can send it to you, the link, and then you can we can walk you through it. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries.
Any other questions before we move past Hal Scream?
Well, I have a question also. Do you give the employees, do they get a discount for SeaWorld if they're working there?
They do.
Just-
So all of our ambassador tickets are available 30 days after employment starts. And you
Uh-huh.
are able to print them off at any point once they load into your Seaport app. Ambassadors themselves also get a 30% discount on in-park merchandise, food and beverage, as well as the ambassador is able to use their employee ID to come into the park as a guest. It pretty much serves as their ticket.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for getting that information in the chat, Justin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I've been busy. So I put some information in the chat, just general information regarding what it's like to be a team member at SeaWorld Parks, what the responsibilities are in general of a theme park ambassador in a variety of departments, as well as some of the perks and benefits that you receive as a member of our team.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Last call. Any other questions on the Halloween front before we
Yeah.
jump into some other jobs?
So you guys are hiring for other positions right now, right?
We are correct. Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to know. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Kay.
No
That was
problem.
awesome. I even learned some things about Halloween, so that was great. So we have a little bit of time left in the session. I'm going to get back into the presentation, just talk on some of the other areas of the business that we do have opportunities in available outside of Halloween, although you could still be a part of Halloween, just not wearing a costume. And then I'll go over the steps on how you can express interest. So we get this up and running again.
Sounds good.
Okay. So getting into the normal day-to-day business, we do have opportunities available currently at both SeaWorld San Diego as well as Aquatica Water Park. So you might see some imagery here jumping back and forth. A large number of the opportunities we have open currently are going to be in the revenue operations department. So in our food and beverage opportunities, supporting both the front of house and back of house operations, making sure that our guests are getting some tasty treats and the energy they need to get through a day on the hot sun out there in California and spend its time in the parks. So we're going to touch on some of the roles. First one being the beverage host hostess. So that's going to be, in summary, the frontline role for food services, responsible for the primary guest interaction, making recommendations around orders, processing transactions. So definitely comfort with handling cash, and could be working in a variety of venue types. So ranging from a full fast casual restaurant to a food cart, to a snack stand, to a cotton candy cart. You could be working in any or all of those. So it gives you a variety in the atmosphere and the type of processes that you're following, but at its core, focused around the customer service and the experience that we're providing to our guests every day in that role. Supporting the beverage host hostess is the culinary operations host hostess. So similar, they're just kind of a step behind. You're going to find this position operating primarily behind the service counters. So once that order is put through, they're going to be assisting with pulling the order together, getting the items pulled from the kitchen, trayed up appropriately based on the tickets, getting drinks prepared, desserts, salads, any snacks that may need to be included there, making sure that they have any condiments, napkins, all that the guests may need to enjoy that meal that they're coming through and purchasing at your specific venue location. And then stepping back even further is our culinary team. So we have opportunities available for line cooks, similar to the beverage host and the culinary host. We do offer the opportunity to work in a variety of venue types and environments. And with culinary, that takes it kind of up another notch. As if you're interested in that as a career field, there's really no other experience I can think of where you have the opportunity to be exposed to so many different types of cuisine, cultures within one working environment without having to jump from restaurant to restaurant. You can really experience the full gamut of types of cooking, as well as the equipment that it takes to put those dishes together. Outside of food and beverage, we do have other opportunities, of course, as well. So I wanted to give a little sampling of what we have currently open. On the operations side of the business, we do have needs this time for additions to our team supporting the security department. So the ambassador role you're going to find primarily at the front of the park. They're the folks that are going to be checking those bags on the way in, on the way out, making sure that everybody inside of the park is as safe as possible, that nothing that should not be coming into the park is coming in, and nothing that shouldn't be leaving the park is heading back out. They do also cover shifts in an observational capacity, so could be stationed anywhere within the parks and constantly keeping eyes open, attention to detail. Some things important to that role, definitely, and with that attention to detail, being able to report out, ability to write a report legibly, of course, but really involving as much detail as possible in the event that we would need to revisit a situation. We can't have a clear picture of exactly what had happened. Obviously, security, they're going to be responsible for handling some tricky situations at times, but at its core, just like any role in the parks, it is another customer service position. They, in many cases, are the first and last impression that the guests have of the park. So we are always going to be looking for that individual that has a comfort with outgoing approach and initiating interactions and really going out of their way to make sure that the guests are having the best possible time. And then the second role that we were going to highlight for you today is our vending role with the merchandise department's sales ambassador. So sales, obviously, you're going to be responsible for helping them pick a souvenir. There's something that they're going to take away as a memory of this vacation that may be a once in a lifetime experience for them. So it's going to be a very rewarding position. And they have a few different capacities they work in across the park. The one we're focused on today being the vending is going to be primarily within the large stadium shows that you see, where you're going to go out and see our orca whales, our dolphins, our sea lions. They're going to be the folks walking around selling the things in the tray. A lot of the glow merchandise they get to work with as we get into the evenings. So with this role, need to have a little bit more comfort around the public speaking piece than you would necessarily need to have within a merchandise location. Comfortable with drawing attention to yourself, initiating interactions, kind of wearing the merchandise, using it to your advantage to make a sale, and definitely strong comfort level with handling cash without the use of a cash register, making change in their head and making it out of a bill pouch that they carry with them. Then with the opportunities, if you did decide that you'd like to pursue anything with SeaWorld Parks and Resorts, whether it be SeaWorld there in San Diego or any of our parks across the country, that does come with a list of perks and benefits regardless of the status or position that you're in. So as you join our team, one of the things that you definitely get right out the gate is your team member ID is your ticket to the park. So we encourage you to get out there, experience it for yourself. The more you know about the parks, the better service you can provide to the guests when you're on shifts as well. You're also eligible to receive complimentary admission tickets to share with friends and family so that they can come and experience that fun and adventure with you. Discounts on additional park tickets. If you have a large group that you need to bring in, you're able to leverage that discount to save a little bit of money on that. You do receive a discount on foods and merchandise across the resort, not only exclusive to your park location, but if you go on a vacation here in Florida, you're going to check out SeaWorld here, you're going to get those same discounts in the park here as well. So it's going to reach across to all those locations. We do hold throughout the year team member focused special events. You have the opportunity to experience rides and attractions prior to the public as a part of a test crew and previews. A team member sports leagues, a tuition reimbursement program, referral program. There really is a long list of initiatives in place to engage with our team and make sure that we are showing them how much that we value them and the experience that they bring to the parks every day. And then, of course, we only covered a handful of positions today. There takes so much more to put all the pieces in place to operate a theme park, let alone 12 theme parks and keep them running at the capacity we do, and including then on top of that, the zoological piece and combining that element. So it really is a large, people say small city, but it's a large city that it takes to run park. And there's so many options that you could pursue. So even if we didn't cover something today that fits really within your specific area of interest, that doesn't mean that we don't have it available or won't in the future. So we'd still love to talk to you about your interests, answer any questions that you have. Ultimately, the landing page for all the knowledge that you would want to find around our available positions is going to be the website you see in front of you there. This is a page that will take you directly to opportunities specific to California. If you just take the San Diego off the end of it, then you can see all of our parks, but that's going to help you skip a click. And that's going to be consistently updated to show the positions that we have in active recruitment at that time. You can review job descriptions there, click through to view pay rates, and submit applications straight from the job description on the site. And then once submitted, you kick into our virtual selection process where you can complete your interview steps virtually up until the point of a job offer, which in many cases can take as little as a week to get through all steps and process, depending on the role and number of interviews and involvement that is required for that specific position. Cover the presentation for today. And definitely wanted to leave a buffer for questions, or if there are any specific positions I didn't cover that you'd like to know more about. Open back up to you guys now to fire away.
I have a quick question. So if we do, sir, actually reapply, do we put your name as a reference for San Diego Housing Commission?
That's
Academy?
the one. Yeah, if you heard about it today at this event, you would want to list the San Diego Housing Commission event as the referral source.
Or not your specific name, Mr. Richet?
No,
No,
Oh. Or
Yeah.
K?
I say I would put down the Housing Commission as your reference, just because it's going to track how we have drawn some applications and how we draw interest.
Okay, perfect. I think I might reapply for a position.
Perfect.
Thanks, Johnsy. Okay. Well, I don't see
For any of
more questions. Do you see any more questions in the chat
It's
box?
just-
I don't yet.
I don't see any more questions. No,
I have a
not on my
question.
end.
I have a question. Is there any job that requires the minimum age of 17?
I say we are currently reevaluating that. I know we do have some culinary pork operations jobs that are 16 plus as long as you have a worker's permit, and Justin would be able to direct you more in that direction.
Yeah, at this time, I believe the culinary positions may be the only ones that we have posted that are open under 18. But that is a piece of the information that's included in every single job posting. So if you did review any of the opportunities online, that should be right there at the top of the bullet list on the age requirements.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I don't see any further questions, but I do want to invite the participants and also the staff that joined us today, just to mention that we're gonna be lucky enough to have them back on Monday.
Yes.
So please send it out to all of your participants and to all of your friends so they can go ahead and apply for these positions. We do have the website that listed that Justin wrote down in the chat box, and we have Kay's for her specific scary position there, which looks so much fun. I think that would be great. I know I scream really loud, so I think I would be a really great candidate, okay?
I say you just come see me. I got you.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Well, let me see, Johnsy, it says again here, do you need to be vaccinated? No, Johnsy, you have to just look at the CDC guidance, like Kay mentioned. Can you repeat that, Kay, for her?
I
Thank
say
you.
we are following all the CDC guidelines as far as masking and vaccination. You are not required to be vaccinated to work at SeaWorld. However, if you are unvaccinated, you do have to wear a mask.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you again, both of you, for attending this great workshop and presenting. It was a super fun workshop and recruitment that we had today. And I think everybody is going to really apply today for that position. Everybody was
Perfect.
we had a good turnout. So I'll go ahead though and send a copy of the recording to you all.
Okay.
And if you do hire anyone, just, let us know. So we'd be happy to just, let everybody else know that they, they got hired at SeaWorld. So
Perfect. We can
you
definitely do
again.
that.
Yes. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you for
Jenna.
having me.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Good presentation. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.